Hey folks. Oh, this looks weird. Hang on. What is going on now? What's this? There we go. That's a wee bit better, isn't it? How are we doing? I can see that I've got Jazzy Frazzle here. Hi, Jazzy Frazzle. I don't know if I've met you before. Lovely to meet you if I've not, and welcome back if I have. Also got David's here. Hi, David. How are you? Meadow, UF8. No, U8F. Beg your pardon. Hi, Meadow. And lovely Marita's here as well. How you doing? I hope you're doing okay. It is really, really cold here today. It's freezing outside. I think we're getting ready for like really seriously freezing cold weather. So I saw there was when I was driving home from tutoring, there was gritters out, so there were. So I don't think it's going to be the best weather tomorrow. Roman's here. Hi, Roman. How you doing? Roman from Goldman XY. So yeah, it's very cold. So I've got the heater on underneath me, but I'll no doubt need to turn that off at some point because my legs will be too warm. My legs will be too warm, but the top half of me will be freezing. Oh, hi, Deanne. Lovely Deanne from Blue Crescent Arrows here. It's not a good sign when I've only just started the live or 3 minutes in and I'm already tripping over my words. How's everybody doing? Has everybody had a reasonable week so far? My week has been fairly busy. Just the usual amount of busy, to be fair. Work was pretty busy because one of my colleagues was off, so I was covering them and kind of watching their team. And yeah, tutoring was the usual. Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie. How are you? It's lovely to see so many of you here. I'm drinking Iron Brew tonight. We need to go to the shops and get milk, so I've just got enough milk left for my tea in the morning. So I don't have a cup of tea tonight, which is annoying, but never mind, I'll make do without. I could actually have a coffee now I think about it, because I use oat milk for that. I do have oat milk down there. Maybe I will put a request in with the barista. What's everybody else drinking and how's your week's been? Sasha's here. Hi, Sasha. How you doing? Diane says, pretty decent week here. Kids had Valentine's parties today at school. That's cute. And we have fun stuff planned for the weekend. Excellent. Are you going out for dinner or something, Diane? I don't think we actually have anything planned for the weekend, to be fair. Sandy's feeling a wee bit under the weather today, so maybe just have a wee chilled weekend. Today in work, they had like themed picking which was quite cute, and the sweets were really nice, so that was quite good. Yeah, orders up. I'll text him to see if he's still downstairs. Oh, he's not read it. But yeah, sorry, we talked about Valentine's Day. What was I going to say? I tasted. Sorry, I just got distracted by that. I tasted Iron Brew years ago. If that's how you spell it, yeah, that's how it's the the brand Iron Brew, how Bars Iron Brew is spelled. Did you like it, Jackie? You've just had a shot of rum. Very nice. Let's see. David says it's freezing in Aberdeenshire as well. Max is skipping karate tonight. How come? Is that on account of the weather, Deanne, or just fancied a wee night off? Sasha is on white rum, pineapple, and lemonade. Oh, very fancy. That sounds lovely. There's Simon. Hi, Simon. How you doing? How's your week been, Simon? We don't have any date plans, but both kids have friend birthday parties to attend. Max has Friday and Monday off for a winter break. Tomorrow we're all meeting friends for lunch. I think our kids are off next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for half term. So actually that's a point. I need to message my students and check who's still wanting tutored and who's not. Because I tutor on Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So not sure I liked the iron brew back then. Who knows if I tasted it again. I love a wee can of iron brew. I allow myself one a day. So sometimes I cheat and have more than one, but oh, you're out in the cold. Why are you out in the cold? That's not good. I got a set of pearl earrings and a ring and a silver and turquoise costume necklace for my Valentine's gift from Daniel. Oh, very nice. Sounds lovely, Martha. Great week. Grandchild is 1 year this Friday. Oh, happy birthday to your grandkid. I hope that you have a nice time celebrating. That's tomorrow then, isn't it? Skipping karate just to give the kids some downtime. They have many colds and I need to keep them in better shape before lunch tomorrow. Okay. That's a wee shame. So your week's been full on, but it's been good. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. Nearly at the end of the week. Are you off next week, Simon? Waiting at the bus stop for Max to get home from school, of course. I forget the time. Sometimes I forget about the time difference. Yeah. I got some stuff from Oneness Emporium this week, so I did. I got 2 deliveries from Oneness. One of them might have came last week. Yeah, it did, because I found a video at the weekend for it. But I got, I need to move things about because I'm smoking this. So I think when Marion was on a couple of weeks ago, Marion showed this briefly. But this is so Maria Alves Hernando. I've actually met Maria. Maria is really good friends with Marion, and Maria at the Tabby conference that I was at last year, Maria did one of the talks on this subject, actually on tarot tableaus, and it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. It was one of the talks because we were properly, well, saying that as though we weren't with other talks. We were pulling cards at all the talks at Tabby last year, but I really enjoyed the Maria's one. And Maria's going to be one of the speakers at the Oracle's Rebellion up in Scotland in April, at the end of April. So I'm really excited to see her again. I'm going to see if she'll sign my book. But yeah, I got this from Cheryl at Oneness. So I'll quickly flip through. You can see it's all about kind of a reading techniques and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get stuck into that. I do agree with what Marion said a couple of weeks ago, though. If this comes out in an audiobook, then that would be even better, because I'm much more an audiobook guy than a book guy now. So I got that, and I also got these playing cards, which, Simon, I'm pretty sure you showed a wee while ago. The Memento Mori playing in Oracle cards. So this is essentially well, it's not essentially, it is a playing card deck. So you get your two jokers, and then like your king, queen, jack, and spades, hearts, clubs, and diamonds. So it's a playing card deck, but it has like these like wee inscriptions on it. So wee notes about the cards and what they mean. It's quite cool for the court. So you can see the king of spades is the tyrant, controller be controlled. The queen of spades is the widow, wisdom through loss. I think that's quite cool. These are the backs, by the way, which are nice. It's quite close to tarot. I would say if you like the associations are probably closer to like the tarot associations than the traditional playing card meanings. I think. So you got your 10 of spades, which is equivalent to your 10 of swords. The final hour at the end is here, release and reset. The 9, anxiety. And then the 8, the cage is mostly in your mind. So you can see that it's quite close to the, or a lot of them are quite close to the Rider-Waite-Smith, kind of what we tend to associate as the Rider-Waite-Smith interpretations of the minors. So it's where spades is swords, hearts is cups, clubs is wands, and diamonds is pentacles. So yeah, I'm excited to work with this because I do enjoy a wee playing card deck. Out of interest, has anyone got this, and has anyone edged it in black? Because it has the black backs, I quite would like it edged black, but then the fronts are like just white, and I'm like, I don't want it to seep and ruin the front, So I'm kind of a toying with the idea of edging it black, but I'm not really sure. Let's see. He treat me so nice. I sent him a huge bag of gummy bears, his favourite candy. That's nice, Maritha. Just off Thursday and Friday, and Sandra's coming over. Oh, that'll be nice. Oh yeah, I think I remember you mentioning it. Deanne, they're all right, well enough to go to school, but just a bit congested. My one friend we're meeting tomorrow can't be around germs, really. Right, okay. New camera. No, I don't have a new camera. I've got a ring light here. That might be what's making a big difference. So yeah, that's probably more that than the camera, Simon. Got a ring at the weekend. We went to IKEA. I got a ring light, and I also got a lamp for my upstairs living room because I'm like one of those typical gays that hates like ceiling lights. Like I hate having the lights on. Absolutely detest it. Sandy always jokes that I'm like that. The Maggie Smith from Downton Abbey. Where she's like, oh, that glare. It's like we're on stage at the Gaiety. He says that's me, which isn't far wrong, but it's still pretty rude of him. I wonder if he's read my message yet. No, he has not. No coffee for me. David says, I need to do dishes, but we'll be listening. I had a poker deck arrive today. Nice. Poker deck of the Drowning World. Ooh, it's pretty cool. Jen's here. Hi, Jen. How are you? Roman says, holy shit, Chris. Holy shit, what? What you holy shitting about, Roman? According to this book, it's supposed to be the minor arcana with one court removed. The playing cards, yeah, it will be. Because there's just Jack, Queen, and King in the playing cards. Got the Mond into you this week. Yeah, I was asking if you're still downstairs because I've just remembered that there's oat milk, so I could have coffee. You alright? Yeah. Thanks. My coffee's on its way. I wouldn't touch it just in case, Chris. Hi, Chris. Wouldn't touch what? Wait, what was I talking about? I must have been talking about something because Roman's saying holy shit and you're saying I wouldn't touch it. What would you not touch? Oh, card, right. Okay, Roman's talking about cards with skulls. Right. So you're talking about these, Roman. Okay, I mean, these are pretty, like, affordable, or they were from Oneness Emporium. So look it up. It's the Memento Mori playing cards. Playing and Oracle cards. Right, Jen, what are you saying you wouldn't touch? Oh, edging, right. Okay. Sorry, folks. I think my brain's up. My head's up my arse today. Right, I've got you, because the black on the front, right, I've got you. Got you. Sorry. Okay. Sorsha says, the tarot tableau sounds so interesting. I realise how much we can get from using rows of cards. Those playing cards you have, I love old-fashioned cartomancy. Yeah, do you know, Sorsha, you would love... I've got a playing card deck. I think it's this one. I got this years and years ago. It was Malamie that got me it as a birthday present, I'm sure. It's really kind of her. But yeah, this is a playing card deck. Let me... So this is what is this called? So it's dead like fancy. It comes in this bag, and it's like a wax seal. And I've obviously opened it so as that the seal and stuff isn't broken. I've just kind of cut the ribbon. But it's the Count Marco's Cards of Cartomancy. It actually comes with a wee book as well, but I'd probably struggle to find the book just now. But yeah, so it's got like the card of fate and destiny for one of the Jokers, karmic reward, and then you can see that it's got all of these kind of a like, and it's almost like it's handwriting, you know. It's the same for the other Joker. Then for like so traditionally in playing cards, diamonds is associated with the element of fire because, you know, money burns a hole in your pocket essentially. But so it's got different things in the card. So this is the Jack of Diamonds, right? So the kind of a writing down the side here is the general meaning of I think the suit. So the suit of diamonds is about prosperity, creativity, transformation, and spiritual growth. I think let me see. So that you've got the elemental association and the point in the compass, so south and autumn for diamonds. And then you've got like these different descriptions of the Jack of Diamonds, and it's the same for the Queen and the King, obviously. And then for the numbered card, so from 9 down to ace, you've got to see the blue. That's the meaning of the number, I think. No, I'm telling you lies. So numero nove is number 9. So 9s are final challenges. 8s are fortification, and then the blue is basically what how that expresses, and the so the 9 of diamonds is therefore selflessness. So yeah, anyway, it's got all these all of the cards have all these wee etchings on them, and it's quite cool. It makes me think of you all the time, Saoirse. And the other backs, it does have the name of the deck on the back, which I'm never really keen on, but I can make do because it's such a nice deck. Oops. So yeah, it's a really cool, nice playing card deck that I've had for years. Marita, we like gummy Bearchin here too. Thank you. Thanks very much, Mister. Oh, I thought I could see more of your background. It might be that I've moved the camera over slightly or something, Simon. I'm not sure. Probably just I've moved the camera more than anything else. But it's the same webcam that I'm using. Sorry, I'm going to be really behind now in the chat, aren't I? We do not switch on the big light. It's our culture. Yeah. Hi, Ferdiad, by the way. It's nice to see you. Whoops. I don't use the main lights either, just a salt lamp. I like the darkness. Say hi to Sandy for us, right? I'll say sorry. I just saw that just too late, Jen. I'll tell him you said hi when I see him next. I have the Memento Mori Oracle, but not those cool playing cards. There's a whole other deck. The best psychics I've seen use playing cards, says Jen. Diamonds or pentacles. So diamonds, when you're linking it to the tarot, diamonds do link to pentacles, but in playing cards, the suits are slightly different. So your diamonds is the element of fire. I think hearts is wands. Sorry, no. Hearts is water, is what I meant to say. I want to say spades are earth. Because you dig in the earth with the spade. And what does that leave? Wands being air. I could be well. Why don't I just look at the blinking deck that's right in front of me? That would be good, wouldn't it? So diamonds are fire. It's there. Clubs are air. Hearts are water. And spades are earth. Yeah, so I get it right, actually. Hi, so Niels, how you doing? I've just realised, so when you were in Simon's live, Simon pronounces your name Niles. So if I've been saying your name wrong, and see if I have, then apologies. Because I would trust Simon's pronunciation over mine. Let's see. I gave some playing cards as Yule gifts. Bought one for myself too. Nice stuff. Would have guessed diamonds are pentacles, hearts are cups, clubs are wands, and spades are swords. So yeah, that's I believe that is correct. If you're linking them to the tarot, the tarot suits. But elementally, I think traditionally playing cards are, the elements are different. They used to have pages, knights, and kings, but they switched knights for queens. Oh, okay. They have so much in them, yeah, I know. Don't you just love getting new decks? It really lifts the spirits. I know, it does. Tips for the barista. Oh yeah, you're getting ready for it because you're an hour ahead. Is that right? So it'll be about 10:30 for you right now, which is late. Won't be long behind you. 12-hour day at work today. Oh dear. Personally, I've always thought swords should be fire. Have you ever seen a sword being made? I think there are some Golden Dawn sources supporting this too. I think there's lots of different. So there's a deck that I've got, the Witch's Tarot, the Karen Reed Witch's Tarot. So that switches the elements for swords and wands. I'm trying to remember though if. So, sorry, I'm switching between camera views here. So here's your wand suit, and it does look quite airy, I think. This is quite an unusual deck. So, and then you get your swords, and that is quite fiery. But then what's weird is as you're looking through the swords, I mean, that's quite cool, the doorway for the 3 of swords. But as you're going through them, like maybe some of the later numbers, like the 9 and then the 10 of swords, they do feel like traditional swords cards, just because this is obviously like ruin and defeat. But yeah, this deck switches the elements round. I'm going to do my usual and end up with a pile of decks all around me, aren't I, at the end of this live? Which I suppose that's what we're here for. Here to talk about cards and all of that. Would it be good and put that away? There we go. I've put one thing away. So yeah, I get that. I think that I'm too used to having my wands being fire and my swords being air, and what my associations are for the elements and for the suits. I'm too used to those things to now switch it round in my head. So I think for me, it's always going to be swords are air and wands are fire. But I do get that kind of a point of view. Simon Maritime Chris made me do it. Jen Lent differently. I'd be interested to hear what your associations are, Jen. Honestly, I simply read playing cards like tarot. Too confusing to change the elements up, but I love making the spades into the tricky hard luck suit for the drama of it. Yeah, I think that's how it's traditionally read. And I think the numbers, let's see, let's grab a normal set of playing cards. Like the numbers are like traditionally in playing cards, the numbers are read slightly differently. So this deck's shuffled, which isn't ideal. But like 8s, I think, are congregations, because it looks like a bunch of people, like kind of a congregating. 4s are still stability, I think. 7s, so it's good if you kind of look at the 6 and then the 7. So right, there's the 6 and 7 of diamonds. So the 6 looks like a pathway. It looks like a pathway. So the 6s are about either progression and moving forward or regression and moving back. But it's like, movement in one direction or another. The 7s, so it's almost like the 6, but it has this wee disruption in the middle here. So that's why the 7s in the playing cards are traditionally read as the disruptive number. The 5s, I think, are read as physicality. It's the physicality of the suit. It's the suit being made physical. And the reason for that is because 5s is like the 5 points of the body. So it's the, I can't find a 5 now. There's one. So yeah, 5s are like the pentacle or the body. It's the thing that it's talking about being made actual, tangible, physical. And yeah, I think aces are still about like potential. 9s I think are changes. So these are changes. 10s I think are completion, if I remember rightly. And then 2s and 3s I can't quite remember, but it might be just similar to the tarot. But anyway, yeah. So there's a slight change up in the numerology in playing cards, or traditional playing card reading, which is quite cool. But yeah. Pentacles is a merchant class, cups is a clergy, swords is nobility, and clubs is the peasants, the peasantry. Spellcaster stud 2, that's why I got rid. Oh, they changed the elements round. Right, I'm aware the Dutch IE sound is foreign to English speakers. And also Neil is an English name, so that's familiar. But actually, Chris, how you pronounce it is the right way. So Neil's. Okay. Cool. That's fine. No worries. I was worried that I was saying it wrong. Do you know that way now? I'm like, how have I been saying that? So Neil's. I think I just say it how it looks. So Neil's. That's how I've been saying it. I use the German way of pronouncing most IE combinations and just pronounce the last vowel. Niels. It's like Niels. Right, okay. Okay, that's cool. Everyone else uses swords air, so I do too. Confuses folk otherwise. You may pronounce it any way that works for you. Oh, that's really sweet of you. Thanks for clarifying. Now it just looks like I was an arsehole and called you out for not pronouncing something right, doesn't it, Simon? But I genuinely thought that you were on the right and I was in the wrong. Midway point between 1 and 9, fall back to 4, stagnation, or move forward to 6, harmony. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 1 times 2 times 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 1. I mean, that is mathematically true. Yeah, coolsies. Right. What else did I have to chat about? Or to share? Oh, I've been working with this wee deck. Well, it's actually a big deck. Steel Wizard Tarot. Anyone? Anyone got this? Anyone like it? Anyone not like it? So I've made some decisions about it. When I first got it, I left the princesses and the pages in because I don't really know why. I guess I just thought, right, okay, well, the pages can be messengers and lean more towards that, and the princesses can be like the novice, the new start, the learner, that type of thing. But then it just occurred to me that I was getting irritated having a page and a princess and having extra cards in my deck, because you know how much I don't like that. So yeah, the extra cards that I'm not using in this deck, so you've got the maiden, I'm saying princess, it's maidens rather than princesses, I beg your pardon. But you've got the maiden for each suit. And then you've got extra major arcana, so the weaver, the universe. It's a shame because that's a beautiful universe card, and I would have exchanged that for my world were it not for the 23 on it. The truth, soul twins, evolution, and I am. So the artwork in this deck is really, really nice. It really appeals to me, and I'm enjoying working with it. But well, no back to that. that just is the way it is. Yeah, really enjoying this. So who else has got it? Yeah, you are, so sorry. What I love is that I imagine that everyone here could probably read just about anything: cards, runes, tea leaves, palms, stones, sticks. That's what we do, right? I think there's probably a lot of stuff like palms. Palms isn't quite just like kind of a looking at like symbols. I think with a lot of things like kind of a tea leaves, coffee grounds, a lot of the time you are looking for like just symbols that pop up. It's like looking at the clouds and all that kind of thing. Whereas with palms, I think it's important to know like what all of the lines are, what the sections of the hands relate to, and what they mean and stuff. Like see when you watch people that are really proficient at reading palms, like I think his name's Caelan Turner. He's like he's one of the only people I know in Scotland that reads palms, and he's read my palm before, and he's really, really good. Knows his stuff, and it's fascinating. But I would want to like learn what everything is rather than just try and wing it with something like that. I'm going to turn this heater off, and it might make my screens go funny. No, we're all good. I read that as a factorial. Yeah, like 3 times 2 times 1 is 3 factorial. Marita's saying 6 equals 6. Playing cards are fascinating, trying to use them for psychic readings. Each card in the deck has its own meaning. Yeah. Simon loves this deck. Is that this one, Simon? Like the cover so far. The sum equals the product, the perfect number. Funnily enough, I was who was it? It was Professor Brian Cox, was it? He was talking about the most perfect shape, and it's a hexagon, which is the 6-sided shape. And apparently you see it like so. Bees when they make a hive, when they make honey, like honeycomb, it's in hexagons, and that's because it's the most efficient way. Apparently, anything else would waste materials. Is it Saturn has the great storm on Saturn. That's a hexagon shape. It's almost like a perfect hexagon, which is really cool. I think it's Saturn. I don't think it's Jupiter. But yeah, apparently a hexagon is the most perfect shape in the physical world. Dug it out a few months back and used it as my deck for the month. Nice. Yeah, it's a really kind of I love the artwork. really striking, and the colours are beautiful. Are there knights too? Yeah, there are knights in this deck. I'm sure I'll go buy one of them in a minute. I like the extra cards, fair enough. I can barely read English, Saoirse, says Roman. Reading palms is fascinating. I like to look at people's hands. You can tell things across the room. By the way, Simon, I bought the Jungian Tarot ever since I saw it on your cup of catch-up. Oh my god, I absolutely love it. The minors are so fascinating to me. With that sun on each minor card. Nice. Really draws me in. I wonder what the significance of it is. These must be one of my favourite pick cards ever. There is something so striking about it. The Ace of Cups is tilted. It's adorable. Yeah, it's Saturn that's got the storm on it. Yeah, Roman. So this is, just to say it again, this is the Steel Wizard Tarot by Pamela Steele. The thermal convection cells on the surface of the sun form a hexagonal honeycomb pattern too. Oh, nice. Didn't know that. So you can see there's some changes there. Just 15 is materialism rather than the devil. 13 is transition rather than death. I know I've probably gone by some nights, but pages. I love that judgment card. Phoenix bursting into flames. Nice Three of Swords. There's a knight. There's the Knight of Cups. So definitely got knights in it. The art is really dynamic. Quartz is a natural hexagon. Cool. I'm nearly done. I might as well just flick through them all for you. Don't think I've ever done a walkthrough this deck. I used this, that's a nice High Priestess card. I used this deck in my, it was my week ahead reading. I think it was for last week, if I remember rightly. So yeah, beautiful deck. So I've been enjoying playing with that. Need to make sure I keep these extra cards separate. Robin was kind of talking about this last weekend. So yeah, I do what Simon was saying. I kind of just do that and then put these the other way, so as that, I mean, if you shuffle a deck enough, you can kind of it's easy to, they come apart really easily. Do you know what I mean? Just because the cards tend to bend in one way. But yeah, that's what I've been tending to do. Isn't a buckyball also hexagonal? I'm not sure. Oh, the other thing was carbon graphite. No, it's not graphite, is it? One of the forms of carbon, the carbon element. So carbon can form into diamonds. Diamond, which is when it's show you what I'm talking about. So carbon has, I think it's called covalent bonds, if I remember my chemistry properly. So carbon is basically like, it has its nucleus, and then it has like, it can bond to 4 other kind of elements that can bond. So I've obviously drawn that like across, but in 3D, it kind of looks like, so you've got like, so kind of a forms like that, and then like so you get one, if you imagine there's like one coming out towards the page, and then like that, like kind of a, I don't know, like a tripod type shape. But yeah, when they're just all kind of a joining like that, and they form that kind of a lattice, then that makes a think diamond. They can join in a way where they make it's almost like a football. So like a football's like made up of hexagons, like that type shape. Like putting that all together, and it kind of if you were to kind of wrap it, if it wraps around itself, it becomes a football. So that's carbon can form like, it can form like that, and that's like a really naturally really solid. It's like thin, but it's, I'm sure, stronger than stainless steel. And then it also forms, I think graphite is when it's in sheets, it forms into like sheets, and that's why it's used in pencils, because it slides off each other really easily. Anyway, I'm remembering that from many a year ago, like over 20 years ago when I did chemistry. Anyway. Dishes is done, kitchen is clean until tomorrow, says David. Excellent. You're asking if that deck was glossy, I think. Yeah, it is quite glossy, Rolf. Carbon forms a hexagonal matrix, yeah. Michelle's Shining Light Tarot. Hi, Michelle, how are you? Sorry, just joining. What deck is this? That was the Steel Wizard Tarot, Michelle, by Pamela Steele. Beautiful deck. I think it must be the heating / killing, because basalt columns, like the Giant's Causeway. Are we carbon? Yeah, we are. Oh, do you know what else I found out? So you can tell where my blooming TikToks and stuff are going just now. But do you know what the rarest material in the universe is? Or what we think is the rarest material in the whole universe? So it's not like diamond, and it's not like some kind of a precious jewel or something like that. It is wood. Wood is supposedly the rarest material in all the universe, because wood is made of carbon and it requires life. So that's how we know that it's the rarest. So there you go. Not seeing the Steel Wizard. Carbon forms a ring. Only silicon under artificial conditions can do the same. Davina's here. Hi, Davina. How are you? We call that a soccer ball. Yeah, you do. The hexagonal shape is what makes sixes what Marilyn from Tarot Clarity calls a perfect number. Yeah, I think that's what Roman was saying. What is he? What the hell is he talking about? I was talking about, we were talking about the number 6, and from there I was talking about how apparently the hexagon is the most perfect shape in the natural world. It's why we see it in like bees, like when they're making honey. There's a storm on Saturn that's been going on for hundreds of years that forms the shape of like a perfect hexagon. And then I was talking about carbon atoms and how they form hexagons. They're called Buckminster fullerene structures. Oh yeah, fullerene. I remember that. That rings a bell. Carbon is organic. Well, carbon itself isn't organic, but when we talk about organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry, or the organic tends to be, it has carbon. Why do bees do it too? So apparently it's the most efficient way for them to, it's the best way where they don't waste any material. It's the most efficient way for them to kind of make the wax and the honey, so as that everything, I don't know, so as they're using the space the best or something. Nat the Horse Witch is here. Good afternoon from California, everyone. Hi, Nat. I don't think I realised you were in California, Nat. It's lovely to see you. If you pack circles together, they arrange into a honeycomb. Yeah, I think like in bubbles, when bubbles kind of go together, they naturally form into like hexagons. It's the most efficient packing arrangement. I heard that the other day. Neil deGrasse Tyson said it. So I see a lot of him. He shows up a lot. But I'm sure it was Professor Brian Cox that I saw talking about it. So those aliens are here for wood. Yeah, no pun intended. What about that new element that alien spacecraft use? I'm not aware of that. I'm going to bed. Enjoy the rest of the live cast, and everyone says Niels. Have a good sleep, Niels. I hope that you have a good Friday and enjoy your weekend if I don't speak to you. Although if Simon's going live, then hopefully I'll see you there. Six is Tiferet on the Tree of Life. It is. And Tiferet, the sixth sphere, is the kind of a center. It's the heart of the Tree of Life. It's the one that joins to the most other sphere. So yeah, 6 is a pretty cool number. It's the number of harmony. Stability of the honeycomb. Strongest bonds. Fluids naturally hold together into spheres under surface tension. Pack them together tightly and you get a honeycomb. Bursting bubble wrap is the most efficient stress relief, says David. This is true. I'm in the foothills of the Sierras. Yeah, I love numbers. I love numbers from just a mathematical point of view, but and I also love it from a kind of a numerology and a kind of a more magical point of view. But numbers are king. Numbers are everything. It was when I started getting an appreciation for numerology and the tarot and how each of the numbers you can kind of make it, it makes, they're talking about a particular theme. That was when I felt like I really started to fully grasp the tarot. So yeah, I do. I love numbers. I could talk about numbers all day. And I've been tutoring maths tonight, so I had 2 students earlier, so really in theory I should be sick of them by now, but nope. Unbeanum, or element 121. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. See many Bigfoot there. Numbers do not lie. I began a book the other day, The Theology of Arithmetic, about ancient numerology. Nice. I've actually got a wee book about numbers. Has anyone seen these books? Sacred Number by Miranda Lundy. So it's about the secret qualities of quantities. So let's see actually what, since we're talking about 6, let's see what it says about the number 6. So that's 5. So all things 60, the hex. So it says, oh yes, snowflakes was another one. So the hexad, like its graceful herald, the snowflake, brings perfection, structure, and order. The marriage by multiplication of 2 and 3, even and odd, 6 is also the number of creation, with a cosmos made in 6 days, a common theme in scripture. I didn't even think of that, because we always think 7 days, don't we? But yeah, the 7 was the day of rest. The numbers that easily divide into other numbers are known as their factors. And most numbers have factors that sum to less than themselves, and so are known as deficient. 6, beautifully, is the sum and product of the first 3 numbers, and its factors are also just 1, 2, and 3, and these sum to 6, so making it the first perfect number. So there you go, that's exactly what Roman was talking about. The radius of a circle can be swung through its circumference in exactly 6 identical arcs to inscribe a regular hexagon, and 6 circles fit perfectly around one. After the triangle and square, the hexagon is the final regular polygon that can tile perfectly with identical copies of itself to fill the plane. The 3 dimensions make for 6 directions: forward, backward, left, right, up, and down. And these are embodied in the 6 faces of a cube, the 6 corners of an octahedron, and the 6 edges of a tetrahedron. 6 occurs widely in crystalline structures such as snowflakes, quartz, and graphite. The hexagons of carbon atoms form the basis of organic chemistry. Just add water. Curiously, the well-known 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triangle has both an area and semi-perimeter of 6. Insects creep and crawl on 6 legs, and the honeybee arranges its dry, waxy secretions into an instinctive hexagonal honeycomb. So this is exactly all the stuff we've been talking about. That's everything that it says about 6. So that's quite cool, isn't it? Love numbers. Such a nerd. Right, where did I leave off? Just me, but if anyone did a Sierra Nevada tarot, Bigfoot would be coming. Sorry. If anyone did a Sierra Nevada tarot, Bigfoot would be an amazing hermit card. Right, I've got you. The element that aliens use in making spacecraft. that was in the book I began. Nice. Cool. Right, it's about time for us to do our spread. Yeah, it says love a 6. It's my personal number because I was born on the 24th. And Verdiad's heading to bed. So for our tarot spread, I think I'm going to use, so I've got it in this beautiful pouch. It is my Sawyer Redux 1909. And I'm absolutely loving this deck. I use this so many clients see at the markets I was reading at, like people just love this. This gets picked so much. Because people love the traditional. Do you know what I mean? Everybody loves the traditional tarot deck, but I think because this is so colourful and bold, everyone was just drawn to it. Because I like, for anyone that's not heard me say this before, I usually take like 3 or 4, sometimes even 5 or 6 tarot decks, and I let the client pick which deck they get read with. And this was by far the most popular on Sunday there. What does it say about Fibonacci? I'm not sure, but I'll maybe see if I can check it out later, and if I find anything about that, Jen, then I'll send you it. Gonna have to turn into such a long day. Night all, says Simon. Night, Simon. Right, who's all reading with me? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the spread. Provided if people do this with me and we are doing the spread, then I'm going to use the Imbolc Hearth spread from Jilly's Crone's Compass, the February edition. By the way, can I just say, the Crone's Compass is an absolute beauty. It is so rich and there's lots of amazing, beautiful detail in it. The February edition has, is it 49 pages? Yeah, it's got 49 pages. And Jilly does one of these every month. And it's only like, I think it was $3.99 to get my February edition. It's on Buy Me a Coffee. So it's so worth it. I would really recommend, because it's not just like tarot stuff. So let me look at the contents and tell you what you're getting. So you're getting stuff about like Aquarius, tells you about Aquarius because we're in Aquarius season. Beyond romance, love scopes for all signs. So there's like a fair bit of astrology there. Tarot in Aquarius, the Lunar New Year. A collective tarot card for us all for February. Mini readings, the spread that we're going to do, moon phases, stuff about Imbolc, the goddess guide, it's all about Bridget, symbols of the seasons. It always includes a recipe, and then the February one, it's for rosemary oat bannock. So yeah, highly recommend the Crone's Compass. So yeah, it's you get it through Buy Me a Coffee, Jen, and you download it as a PDF. Let me get you a link. Let's see, can I share? Share Jelly Little Zincrone's page, copy, and then I'll pop it in the chat. So there we go, that's the link for it, everyone. So I highly recommend. Right, who's reading with me and what decks are you using? I'm feeling Mystic Psyche for Emoke vibes. Is that a deck? The Mystic Psyche? So this is a 4-card spread. Let me know if you're reading with me and what deck you're using. Oh, I've lost my page. Hang on. 17. And I did ask Jilly's permission before I used this for the live. So Meadow is using Star Power Tarot. Jan is using Creatures Tarot Black and White by Sarah Kathleen. Nice. Mystic Psyche is Tarot deck. So that's the one that Marita's using. Tarot du Monde Entier for Roman. This deck smells so nice. Okay, so card number 1 is going to be the Ember, what is beginning to light up within me. Card number 2 is going to be what feeds the flame, what part of me can I nurture now. I'll put all these in the chat, by the way. I'll do them bit by bit as we go through them. Card number 3, maybe zoom this out a smidge. So card 3 is the momentum. Where is momentum building? And then card number 4 is the steady path forward. What supports balanced, sustainable progress as the light returns? Okay. So card number 1 was the Ember. So what is beginning to light up within me? So the Page of Wands for me, let me do this. Ember, what is beginning to light up within me? The Page of Wands is the ideas guy. So this suggests that what's beginning, as we kind of move into the lighter kind of a time of the year, I'm starting to feel more inspired. I'm starting to feel more energetic. I'm starting to feel more just action, kind of a like just more, I guess, just more inspired and kind of have lots of ideas. That's to me what the Page of Wands is. He's the ideas guy. Sometimes he might struggle to stick with an idea and actually see it through to anything, but he's very inspired and very kind of he has a real sense of adventure about him. And yeah, he's like the explorer, you know, he brings a certain excitement to everything. So I suppose that's kind of I mean, that comes naturally when there's more sunlight, there's more vitamin D, days are lighter, so we do tend to feel more energetic, more impassioned and stuff. And I think that's really coming through there for me with the Page of Wands. I guess my task, we'll see what the other cards say, but I would say that my task, the thing that I would ask of myself with that being my card is, right, okay, that's good, but how are you going to use this? You know, how am I going to take that passion, that energy, that drive and actually apply it and make it, make it really worthwhile. So, what's everyone else got for their first card? purse cards, anyone? Diane, you've got change. Okay, so with the changing time of year, comes change for you. So it's probably going to feel like a really deep, profound time for you, if there's things changing all around you. What is beginning to light up within me? So maybe like really kind of a personal changes. What else have we got? This is a beautiful coffee that Sandy's made me. Roman's still shuffling. No worries, take your time. Don't want to rush anyone. And what I'll maybe do actually whilst I'm waiting on yous, I will type the next prompt. So what is this the Jamie Sawyer's RWS Redux? Yeah, it is. It's the second edition of it, Nat. But yeah, it's this deck here. So this is like a borderless, titleless, numberless RWS deck. As you can see, she's made a lot of the individuals on the deck. Like she's went out of her way to make it a lot more inclusive. And then if you look behind, she's got the elements represented here, but on the kind of a numbered minor cards, you've got the astrological decans. So here you've got like the Earth of Fire, which is the Page of Wands. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving working with this deck. So right, here we go. So Jen is using the Toriamus Tarot, and it's got the Nine of Cups. So that's quite nice, Jen. That's a real feeling of fulfillment. And Nine of Cups is the wish card. You know, it indicates that you're going to get something that you really want pretty soon. So with the change in the weather, with the change in season, with the change in kind of at the time of year, something that you really want, that you really hoped for, that you've wished for, will come true for you. Six of Swords, says David. So maybe a bit of a change of scenery, whether that's metaphorical or physical for you, David. But with the change in time, just a bit of a different headspace, I suppose you find yourself in. Three of Swords for Meadow. Okay, that's interesting. So you did tell us what deck you're using, Meadow. The Star Power Tarot. Let me see. I just want to see what the card looks like. Not sure if I'm finding the deck, but usually the Three of Swords is that kind of a heart with the three swords through it. So it might be that as you're moving to this, you're moving through this time of year, your ember, the thing that's lighting up for you is actually knowledge. You're finding out new things, and that could at times be quite painful. It might be one of those kind of the truth hurts type situations, but it feels like maybe things are coming to light for you. That might not feel too nice at the time when it's happening, depending on what it is that's coming to light. But generally, in the long term, we are always the better for those Three of Swords moments. You know, they're eye openers, and it can be, painful at the time, but they help us grow, I think. Love Jamie Sawyer's decks. Yeah, me too. David is using the new Earth Magic colour. Very nice. Eight of Cups in reverse for Roman. Okay. So the Eight of Cups is usually about you've identified that there's something missing, there's something that doesn't feel quite right, and you're going on a journey to find that. What I would say is, for me, I don't know what a reversal means for you, but for me, a reversal is you're blocked in that place. So to me, it's like you've gone out, you've gone for a wander, you've gone to kind of find something or find yourself, and you've gotten lost along the way, and you're chasing yourself around in circles. You're like a nomad. You're just kind of wandering about, and you're struggling to kind of almost find that sense of home again. It's like you're trying to find your way back home, but just struggling to get there. So it's probably just how that would manifest is just that's kind of a constant feeling of something doesn't feel quite right. Something feels slightly amiss. That's how I would read the 8 of cups reversed. But by all means, so you're seeing it as being stuck. So the opposite of what you see in the card, I guess. Okay. So that was card 1. Card 2, what feeds the flame? What feeds the flame? I've got the Judgment card. So what part of me can I nurture now? So Saoirse says, just get back from walking long dog rows around the block. Page of coins in the Flemish Bacchus deck. So you get a page as well, Saoirse. So that means that you're probably going to be. So that's your first card was the Ember. It's what's beginning to light up within you. So pages tend to be like kind of a starting new things. It's throwing yourself into something new. If it's the coin suit, I would suggest that that's a new skill. That's something new that you're learning to do with your hands, or just like a new hobby, a new talent, a new something that you're picking up. But pages generally come with a sense of being inspired, a sense of adventure, this wanting to kind of do stuff, take action, that type of thing. So that feels quite exciting for you and for me as well, because I've got a page too. For 2, Deanne's got the 2 of Wands. Your first card was change and how that's manifesting. No, sorry. What part of me can I nurture now? The 2 of Wands. So it feels like almost like, for me, the 2 of Wands is very much about preparation. It's about planning. We usually see someone who's got a representation of the world in his hand. So potentially the whole wide world is his oyster, but he's just kind of needs to find his way. He's looking out. He's kind of looking ahead to plan the way ahead. I always think of the 2 wands as almost like a portal or a doorway, but we need to kind of build that doorway. We need to build that portal for ourselves. So it's like you're setting yourself up for greatness. That's how you feed the flame. You set yourself up for greatness. So there's all these changes, and it's just about kind of getting yourself ready, I think. I didn't even read my own card, did I? So for what feeds the flame for me, what part of me can I nurture now? Judgment. So generally when I see judgment, I think of like epiphany, sudden realization of something. There's like a new appreciation. I'm seeing something in a whole new way. It could be how I see myself. If this is like talking about what part of me can I nurture, it might be how I view myself. I need to just see myself differently. I might need to not, title of the card is judgment, so it might be about how I judge myself, and just having a bit of a different perspective there. Maybe sometimes it could be not being as harsh on myself. At other times it could be being a wee bit more harsh. It could be being a wee bit more holding myself accountable, that accountability thing. David has got the Ace of Coins. What did you have for your first card, David? You had 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords and then the Ace of Coins. So the Ace of Coins is like you're working, it's you're being handed the seed and you need to then kind of nurture it and build on it. I think So it's exactly what the prompt says, I guess, isn't it? But yeah, invest. I guess invest is what I would say with the Ace of Coins. Invest in whatever it is. So whatever that 6 represents, whatever change that represents for you, really kind of give that the time and energy that it needs. 9 of Cups and then the 4 of Wands for Jen. So the 9 of Cups was that kind of a wish card, if you want to look at it traditionally, and then the 4 of Wands. So I think like you seem to be, so 9 of Cups is like the you're getting the full on watery energy. You know, you're feeling fulfilled and content and joyful with a high energy 9, and I think it's just about celebrating with the 4 of Wands, like how do you nurture yourself? What feeds the flame? Celebrate, just kind of all of your achievements, all of the things that kind of give you that sense of joy. Celebrate, and appreciate. Page of Coins and then the 4 of Batons. So I mean, you've got the same card as Jen. Actually, the 4 of Wands, the 4 of Batons. So again, like celebrate, and that validation that the 4 of Wands represents, like just take that for what it is. When someone tells you you're doing really well, excuse me, take that as like a pat in the back. The 3 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, I like that too, says Marita. So 3 was maybe a chance to, I don't know if I saw the 3, but potentially a chance to collaborate there, or to be creative. Like 3s are creativity and creation, the link to the Empress. It's about abundance and growth and nurturing and all that stuff. With Pentacles being like the physical suit, there's no getting away from the 3 of Pentacles. Could simply be you are being called to create something physical. And then how do you nurture that? The Queen. So you need to have the right environment to be able to create what it is that you're being called to create. So create that safe space, create that environment for yourself. Roman says, damn, the 4 of Swords, stagnant. Okay. But the 4 of Swords is what feeds the flame. So what part of me can I nurture now? So you had the 8 of Cups reversed and then the 4 of Swords. So I was kind of saying, to me, the 8 of Cups is, it's almost like I'm wandering around in circles. I've kind of lost sight of what it is that I wanted to achieve, or with it being a Cups card, it's almost like I've lost that emotional connection, and I'm just a wee bit now emotionally disconnected from what it was that from what it was before, and the way that you can kind of nurture yourself now is to actually stop, rest your mind, just sleep on it, whatever it is. Sometimes we can deliberate over an issue, and then we go away and we go to sleep, and our brains, I always say it feels like, sometimes I feel like my brain almost works things out in the night. More often than not, if something's been upsetting me, particularly if it's emotional, actually, if something's really upsetting me, or if something's puzzling me, if I'm stuck about something, if I go away, if I go to sleep and wake up the next day and then approach it again, usually I've got new ideas in my head. It's like overnight they've been working away at it, So that's what I would say, Roman, is just give it a bit of a pause, take a bit of a step back. I think sometimes when we're just not so emotionally invested, when something isn't quite as raw for us, it's a lot easier to be objective about it, and it's a lot easier to kind of see things clearly and feel things clearly. So it almost feels like you just need that wee bit of a step back. Two of Cups for Meadow. So you had the Three of Swords was the ember, and then the Two of Cups is what feeds the flame. So it could be the Three of Swords, if your deck is traditional, Meadow, and you do have the swords attacking that heart imagery in your card, that it could totally be. So I'm talking about it from a, the swords as the mental suit point of view, but it could be an emotional thing, especially with that heart being on the card. So it could be the, Three of Swords can be about how your head and your heart play off against each other, and how like the swords can attack, so your intellectual self, your mental self can attack your emotional self. So we can be overly harsh on ourselves. Sometimes also it can be more external than that. So it could be an actual relationship that you're in with someone, not necessarily romantic, by the way, but it could be in a relationship that the swords. So the swords are like our minds, our kind of our critical selves, communication, our words. So it could be that harsh words are hurting a relationship. And what it's saying is that the way that you nurture that situation is by, so take it back to the two, take it back to scratch, go back to like, so if for example, if it's like a romantic thing, like if me and Sandy were having a, harsh words or something, then what I might do is I might say, right, let's go out on a wee date, just us, it's almost like you're kind of like resetting things a wee bit. I feel like that can build things back up and just help iron out some of the issues. You've said, yeah, the swords are going into the heart. Daniel has a 3LP. I'm not sure what a 3LP is, Marita. Oh, that means that you need mental rest to get inspired thoughts. Do something physical or repetitive. Oh, Fifi's here. Hi, Fifi. How are you? All of the above. I've been in hibernation mode. Yes, Marita, working on it. We've reached question 2. So I've put the prompts in the chat, Fifi, if you're wanting to pull cards along with us. Or you're going to sit back and listen in. Cool. Well, Fifi, I don't know, are you in the Facebook group? If you are, then I'll post the spread on the Facebook group later on, and you'll be able to kind of do the spread for yourself. Let's see, I'm the same. I decompress at night. No relationship at this time. So I was using Sandy as an example. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Like it could be like a friend or a family member. So just if that, in that context, if we were reading the Three of Swords as, the kind of a harsh word where somehow hurting a relationship, then the Two of Cups is the answer to that. So it's about building the relationship back up from the foundations, having those nice conversations, or just enjoying each other's company, taking things back to square one almost. If it's more internal, so if it's just you're giving yourself a hard time just now, or you're maybe struggling a wee bit, then practicing self-care, looking after yourself, doing things that are just for you. Excuse me. Doing things that you enjoy just for you, not because you feel like you need to be productive or anything like that, but taking some time to do something that you enjoy. That can be helpful. Emmy, hi Emmy, how you doing? Oh, he's a 3 life path, right? I've got you. Have a good cry together, yeah, totally. Okay, card number 3 is the momentum. Where is momentum building? That makes sense. It's probably more internal at this time. Right, okay. Okay. So just really, I suppose, practice self-care, look after yourself, is what I would say. Do stuff just for you. That might be taking a day off work, just enjoying a wee cup of tea and a book and just sitting for hours and then chilling out. It might be like a wee spa day. It could be going to the cinema to see something that you want to see, do something that you enjoy. So I've got the Nine of Wands here for where momentum is building. So, I mean, it's definitely, there's lots of experience, building up experience and building it up fast, but there's also like a certain feeling of defensiveness about this card. There's a certain feeling of experience through, through trials and tribulations. So this is potentially momentum building up in this area is something that I need to be careful with because, you can quite easily get burned by fire. So yeah, I feel like I maybe need to watch myself here and be careful that I'm not becoming, taking on too much and not becoming overly kind of a defensive. So 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands, and then the 8 of... Oh, well, that is the momentum card, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, that's quite cool. Suggests to me that through what you're doing, I don't know what I was going to say there. Totally lost the train of thought. So 9 of Cups, through feeling fulfilled, feeling content and happy, you feed the flame by celebrating your achievements, celebrating yourself, and celebrating where you are. And momentum builds, I suppose, from celebrating from your 4 of Wands, that doubles to the 8. So the momentum's building up. Things are progressing further than what you anticipated they would. See, Diana has the Knight of Pentacles after the change, and then the 2 of Wands. So momentum's building, but maybe at a nice steady pace for you, Deanne. He's still a knight, so he's still on a horse and he's still moving, but he's moving very very carefully, very intentionally. So momentum's probably you're probably experiencing that a wee bit slower than what, well, Jen, for example, where 8 of Wands is experiencing. Momentum for you is the 2 of Cups, Marita. Very nice. Saoirse has the 9 of Coins. Okay, so hopefully that's you, taking some time to actually enjoy all of the hard work that you've put into converting that ambulance and, all the hard work that you put into your life, all the energy that you put into it. You need to have those moments where you actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. 3 of Swords, 2 of Cups, and then the Page of Wands in reverse for Meadow. Okay. So what I would say is be careful about starting things and then not finishing them. Then the Page of Wands is great in terms of being inspired and having ideas, new projects, things like that. But when he's in reverse, the problem with the Page of Wands is he sometimes lacks the staying power to actually see all the things that he starts through to fruition. So it's like he starts something and then he gets bored and moves on to the next new thing, and then he starts that and then he gets bored and moves on to the next new thing. So the Page of Wands can quite easily find himself with all these projects that he started but not finished. And when you're feeling that 3 of Swords and you're needing to apply some of that 2 of Cups, it can get quite overwhelming to have all of that stuff, all of that unfinished business. So just be careful that the momentum doesn't build up so much that you don't get anything done. And particularly, you know, when we're talking about self-care and taking some time to kind of just recharge your batteries, that's something that you need to see through. You know, you can't just start that and then not give it the due time that it needs. Otherwise, you're just going to find yourself burnt out again, I guess. So yeah, page of wands in reverse, be careful. Starts loads of projects and doesn't finish them. Six of cups reverse, release the past, move towards the present. So maybe a wee bit of like kind of a being stuck in the past there, and maybe holding some grudges, or maybe just not getting over stuff that's happened in the past. As you say, release the past. Okay, so this is going to be the steady path forwards. What supports balanced, sustainable progress as the light returns? Oh, he's actually moving forwards. So I've got the 8 of cups. So the steady path forward. What supports balanced, sustainable progress as the light returns? Oh, that was it. Progress as the light returns. Right, what's decking in this? Saturn and Pisces. Saturn and Pisces. So what supports progress for me? It's almost like keeping a bit of a lid on my tendency to go away with the fairies. My Pisces, my tendency is to get a wee bit overwhelmed, and then that kind of it's almost like my brain goes a wee wander and becomes disinterested in things, or just gets a wee bit carried away. And it's almost Saturn and Pisces, it's almost like telling me like I need to have my boundaries there. I need to have like my kind of a bit of a routine, and be a bit more regimented about things. So these, you know, that's kind of a inspiration, these projects that I'm starting. I need to kind of be quite disciplined about what, you know, how I'm applying myself. And I suppose the steady path forward, you could look at this and say, right, well, what I need to do is identify what isn't working and be willing to walk away from that. If there's something missing, if there's something not quite right, I need to be willing to call that out and actually go out and find that. What have you guys got? David has got justice. So I suppose that's the steady path forward, being justice. Justice is, you know, all things in balance. Anything that you're doing right now, think about what the consequences of that is going to be. How is that going to affect you in a day's time, a week's time, a month's time, a year's time, whatever it may be? Always think cause and effect. And that, you know, I say that the way that I say that makes it sound like a really negative thing, but that could be a really beautiful and positive thing as well, you know. The Chariot for Deanne. So your Knight of Pentacles was slow and steady movement, and then your Chariot feels a lot more kind of a lot more momentum filled, doesn't it? Let's see, the Four of Swords for Meadow. So your Page of Wands was in reverse, and that was when we were talking about like be careful about starting things that you're not willing to finish. And then the steady path forward for you is the Four of Swords, which is the card of rest. So maybe in order to find your way forward, it's almost like you need to take a step back, or maybe you just need to kind of stop and assess the way forward. Gain a bit of perspective. Jen, you've got the 8 of coins. You've got 2 8s. So 8s for me it's a number of momentum, but coming from a solid foundation. It's a number of mastery. So that's quite exciting, I guess. It feels like you're kind of through this sense of fulfillment and celebrating yourself. It's like you're gaining this mastery over something. It's like you're leveling up almost. 4 of Pentacles for Marita. Financial stability is the issue that keeps us apart. 7 of Coins, the 3 coin card to 1 baton here. So it's 7 of Coins for Saoirse. 9 of Coins and 7 of Coins. So steady path forward. So it's interesting because after we were talking about, the playing cards and how that 7, I think it was the 7 of Diamonds I held up, wasn't it? But that 7th diamond that's kind of in the middle, and it's not even center. It's kind of off center. So there's just something irksome about it. And that can hold you back. It can disrupt. But if you think about the 7 of Coins, though, usually if it's like a Marseille 7 of Coins, the Flora kind of almost uses that 7th coin as an anchor to let it grow further. So the steady path forward for you is to take those things that could be potential disruptions, take those things that could be a wee bit fucky and mess with you a wee bit. And it's almost like you're using them to bolster yourself forward. You're using them to push yourself even more. So, yeah, that's how I would see that. But, yeah, it looks like that might be us, folks. I hope that everyone enjoyed this. This was a great wee spread. I'll need to let Jelly know that we've all enjoyed it. I'm going to take a wee picture for the Facebook page. And I think I will take a picture of this as well, so as I can show the spread. So, yeah, if you're not already a member of the Facebook page, let me get you a wee link, because I love for people to post a picture of their spread on it. Copy link. There we go. So yeah, come on over and join if you're not already, and take a wee picture and post a picture of your spread on the page. And yeah, I want to say thank you so much to Jelly for being the amazing person that you are, for creating the Crone's Compass, for this spread, and for letting me use this spread on the live. Much appreciated. Meadow says thank you, that was fun. Still learning how to read spreads, so it was nice to get a different perspective. And the Page of Wands in reverse is the story of my life. Yeah, same, by the way, same. I enjoy novelty too much, so I'm really bad for like starting things and then struggling to stick with them. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I'm going to get through and see how Sandy's doing. But yeah, thanks so much, everyone. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. Have a great Friday. Have an amazing weekend. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye, everyone.